Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second session of the Google Coding uh, Hangouts on Air by Copyleft Games. Today, we'll be joined by Ark Riley, one of the mentors, Jonathan, the name JJJPPP, and Joshua, who goes by the name Learners1. And today, we'd be exploring a few of the amazing things the students have done. And I'd like to start off with Joshua. So, Joshua, would you like to get started off?
Sure. So today I'll probably be just talking about how to set up a prosody server, since that's mostly what I've been doing, which was server-side code. And so let me start off by sharing my screen with you guys. And yeah, let's see. All right, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
My terminal screen?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So first thing you want to do is actually install prosody. So on their website, they have documentation to like how to install, and for your specific I guess your specific what is that called, operating system. And so let me share this part of the screen. Wait a minute. Actually, let's do it like this. All right, so here we have prosody, and this is just about how to install just the prosody files to your computer. And so we have here Debian, Ubuntu, Windows, Gentoo, and so on. So for me, I use Mac OS, and there's actually a way to install Mac OS pretty simply, which is just to run you just can just run a simple homebrew command, and you'll be able to get everything. And it seems like they don't have it here for some reason, but yeah, there's a homebrew command that you can run, and you should be able to download all of Prosody's actual code. And so after you download the Prosody, then that's when you have to configure it and find out how to add your modules and things like that. So let's go back to my console. All right, so the first things first is to go to your Prosody folder or wherever you downloaded it to. It should be in your main directory though. So let's see, we have our prosody server. Wait a minute. In my, okay, let's go. In 1 sec. So on your prosody server, you should be able to go to your config file, which is in your user local. It should be in your user local. Let's see. All right, so we have this. So your prosody server should, your config file should be in user local, etc. prosody.config.lua, and yeah, so that's pretty much where all your configuration files or whatever you want to do is configured. So let's look at this. So this is Prosody's example configuration file, and this is the one I use to run my own server. And so we see here that there's server-wide settings and something called virtual hosts and components. So let's just start off with just the simple server-wide settings. This is like global settings that will affect your whole server.
Mm-hmm.
And so first things first is your admin. So the domain that I used was example.com because that's the easiest to go with. And later I'll show you how to do some DNS changes to be able to just run this all on your local host. And so as for my admins, I just added myself as an admin, lonerz at example.com. And if we scroll down here, we can have different modules. So the modules that I was testing were the HTTP modules. So I had to have HTTP and HTTP upload. And you can also add whatever other modules that you need, like Bosch and things like that. And
Right.
and also one of the things that you also probably should have is SSL, which has keys and a certificate. And one of the problems that I ran into in the very beginning was that example.com was not a valid certificate. So I had to kind of puzzle that out a little and make my computer think that it was a trusted certificate.
Right.
And so that's pretty much the main parts of the configuration. We also have to make sure to uncomment your logs. So to be able to debug any of your code, you probably should have logging. Otherwise, it's really hard to debug. And I found that out with Arc when we tried to debug my code through GCI comments only.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite hard. So that's why we just set up my own server and just debug on my own. So here we just want to uncomment the bug and error so that we'll be able to just debug by ourselves. And so these over here are the global variables and things that different modules will call. So daemonize, that will be used with your logging. Your HTTP upload path is pretty much where you upload to, and your PID file is like where your process IDs are. And for me, I was creating the new cross-domain variable for upload. So I had created a variable called cross-domain upload, and here it's true because I had to test if it was true or not. And now we're moving on to virtual hosts. So virtual hosts are pretty much, I guess, subdomains pretty much of, or what your server is running on. So I have two virtual hosts. I didn't really use virtual local host. That was just the default, but I use virtual host example.com. And then you can see the SSL keys here. And so virtual host is just different domains and servers that you create. And finally, components, which is probably the most important thing, is components, because you can't have anything pretty much on your server if you don't have components. And so components here that I have are the MUC, the multi-user chat, and I just named it test for right now. But then the really cool thing for components is that it allows you to add modules and enable modules. So here we enable modules for module and the HTTP upload module. And the cool thing about this is that everything with the HTTP upload protocol will go directly to the MUC and not to your main server. And that helps a lot, actually. And yeah, so that's just the main config file. And does anybody have questions about that?
Mm. So currently, oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What were some of the modules besides the muck oriented and HTTP upload? What are some of the modules that you found were necessary for general use?
Oh, so what do you mean by general use? Like actual chatting and things like that?
Yeah.
You probably want a Bosch client to and you definitely need a Bosch module, the mod Bosch module. But those things are automatically added. You just need to make sure you enable them in your server. So actually, if you come up here to modules enabled, usually they have like everything for you, and you just need to uncomment them. And
Right.
yeah, I just found that like testing, you didn't really need to configure all those things, which kind of saved me time. So yeah.
Nice, nice. So anyone else has any more questions?
And yeah,
Okay.
okay, so I'm actually going to just quickly go over changing DNS so that you can just test on your local host. So you can go to, if I go through my history and find here, so you can go to your etc. cd etc, and then you go sudo vim or whatever text editor you're using, hosts. And here we go. So these are pretty much, so your local host would be like 127.0.0.1. And so you can see here that I have these domains. And pretty much what this does is that when your computer tries to connect to chat.example.com, it'll just connect to the local host, and so that you don't have to actually own whatever your domain is, and that you just test everything on your local host. And that's really helpful because I don't need to like do any of that kind of stuff, and it's just easy for me to test on my local host and switch things. And yeah, so yeah, that's about it for me.
Wow. So that seems like it's a huge task, right, to get that all set up, and you explained it really well. Okay, so Jonathan, why don't you start off with what you wanted to share today?
Okay, sure. Okay, so does everyone see this?
Yep.
So currently, this code isn't actually implemented in the actual chat, except I can just show you the code that I've written. So this pastebin.display photo actually creates an image overlay, which I can show you here. It pops out right here. Oh, is it too small?
Yeah, a little too small for the video.
Oh. Not sure how to do that. Oh, here, let me see if this works. There. Did that work?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, here.
More readable.
So this is so basically what this does is just a bunch of CSS that creates this modal-like thing where you can zoom in, you can scroll around here, and you can zoom back out. And the Save As button actually downloads it into your actual computer, which is pretty nice. So you can have your own personal copy of the photo, and you can just close it back. So this is just a lot of CSS and stuff. And we had this problem where we need to disable XHTML. And basically what we had to do is we had to change a lot of the code to be able just to, instead of using XHTML, we read media stanzas, and we just use it to display images instead. So this is basically what I did is I used candy core.message, and by using this, you can actually get the XML that's sent through from the chat. And here we use XPath to parse the XML and find the different find the media elements and the sources right here. And then this is the type attribute. So this makes sure it's an image, a JPEG, or a PNG type. And here is basically this message pane basically is this entire message pane up here. And what this does is it goes through to a specific area of the message pane, which is this. It goes from the entire message pane into each individual ones, into a div, into this a tag, which is basically the link, and it changes the right here. You can see that it changes the inner HTML to an image source. So basically, instead of using XHTML, we can just use regular HTML and just replace the message with it. And this is just here was just changing into this small thumbnail, and this is just to run the function. So this works perfectly. I actually had a problem with running this code before when I was, so let's go here. Let's see if I can find this. So right here is Shrik's code, right? You wrote this, right?
Yes.
So basically, he actually used this command, a candy view after show, which for me didn't work for some reason. So I had to actually remove it out and completely, and instead like not even use it at all, because for some reason this event handler ran at the wrong time. So it kind of messed everything up for me. So I don't know what happened with that. So yeah, basically that's what I did.
But why would it mess the event? Because it only gives you an event after it has been displayed, right? So why do you think that could have been a bug?
Actually, so basically when I tried running this, I had like a bunch of console log. What happened was when I console logged this args, which is basically the XML, it actually was an offset by 1. So basically this would print, and then this would print down here, and this message would print down here, and this message would be, let's say this arg would be down here, or yeah, down here, and then the message would be like underneath it. So when I tried using this would always give an error because it would just try accessing something that doesn't exist, or something that wasn't even a picture, and it would just crash the chat for me, and it like kind of broke. And one thing I guess I tried to fix was, instead of setting this to -2 instead, and it partly fixed it, except there was this problem where if you tried to send an image on the bottom, it would not render until you sent another image underneath. Yeah. So that was kind of a problem too.
No, but that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to see the code exactly how it's jumping around, but are you setting a handler inside of a handler?
Yeah. I don't know exactly why.
Could it be that the problem is the handler you're setting inside the handler won't be called until the next message, and that's why you're getting that delayed reaction?
Yeah, that's possibly why, except for Strix, it actually worked. So I have no idea why it didn't work for me.
Beauty of coding, right?
Yeah, the thing was, when I first tried it out, I had a similar error without the second event handler. So what I did was I added the second event handler to get to know when it was being displayed, and then I changed it. Otherwise, it was modding some other element which you didn't want to touch. And I think this really fixed it for me, and it broke it for you, which is kind of weird. But I guess that we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Fun.
Sorry?
JavaScripting bugging is never fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's very irritating. Right, so any questions for Jonathan? No one? Okay. Okay, Jonathan, great job. I think
The XPath issues you were having.
Oh yeah. I guess the XPath is like right here, I guess. Basically, this reads the XML and evaluates it, trying to find the message here, the media, and then goes into the source. And we kind of had a problem with doing the namespaces. These.
Oh yeah, big issue.
Yeah, thing before. And it was kind of like really frustrating trying to get those to work, and we like finally got to work with this NS resolver here. This basically does all the namespacing and stuff, so that actually was pretty helpful.
Hmm.
That was a fun day today.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty early in the morning when we started it, so I'm so glad we got this over with.
It's one of
Okay.
those days.
You guys
Yeah.
are getting
Yeah.
sleep, right?
Sorry?
Wait,
Is it
say
getting-
that again?
You guys are getting like 8 hours of sleep, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Totally.
You know,
Um,
we're all on different
GCI
time
is
zones. I'm
on.
always like, who's chatting right now at like 6 a.m.? Is it me or is it someone else?
it's currently 8:40 at my place. It's 8:40 a.m. So it's kind of, yeah, it's 8:40 in the morning, which is kind of
Oh
weird
man.
So you've been
because
up.
yeah, I was up. Not to mention there were some other school things going on, so I had to stay up anyway. So it just worked out, I guess,
Oh
and
man.
it really went well. Yeah, yeah.
You didn't sleep last night.
I did sleep. In fact, I slept in the evening, and then I got up, so I couldn't sleep again. So luckily, all this happened, and we got this over with once and for all. Otherwise, this was something that was really frustrating to some extent. You get everything working except that XPath. That XPath was really frustrating.
It was a lot
Mm.
cleaner than it was. So
Yeah, that's true.
there's
That's
like
true.
a page full of like different tests, like grab this of this of this and test to see whether this exists. And yeah,
Exactly. So of course, XPath does simplify everything, but to get that path, it took quite some time. I think resolving namespaces was something we didn't take really seriously at the start, and
Yeah,
that did
true.
create a bit of an issue. But I think now, because of NS Resolver, we fixed it, and that's pretty cool.
we all learned something.
Oh yeah, I learned a lot for this particular
Yeah.
thing. A lot.
Agreed.
Mm, I'd like to show something itself. Ark, is that fine? As the presenter, can I show something?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to do it from the copyleft account because it's running on my laptop. And okay, give me a sec.
Flip your mutes.
Okay, for some reason it's not allowing me to. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Okay, almost here. Just I'm going to mute the microphone.
It's always fun to get the feedback between the two accounts.
Okay, great. So
Uh-oh.
Turn your phone's volume down.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's better. Possibly not, actually.
Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm just. Um, right, I'm trying to share my screen. Is it coming?
Not yet.
Nope.
No, just give me a sec. Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, the Hangouts app is not always the easiest. That's why most of us using phones, I think.
Yeah, because it was open on two separate things, and now it's slowly not allowing me to do that.
Now it crashes my my browser, so you're doing better than I did.
Okay. Um, it looks like it's going to load. Just give it a sec. Okay, it's really becoming really buggy now.
Maybe you can.
Wait, what's the problem with the screen sharing?
And that is really cool. Wait, I can't see that option, the screen sharing.
It's on the side. The second button down.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Right. So can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. So I recently implemented a function that helps us. As we know, editor is one of the most commonly used functions over the past few weeks or so. So let me just start off by sending in a paste. Test. Right. So it generates this paste, and it's going to send it over to the forum. Okay, there we go. Right. So we click the paste. It opens up in the editor. Now, the current editor had all these awesome menu buttons, but one thing it didn't have was uploading to Pastebin, which essentially allows people to modify code directly in the editor, send it back one click. So let's just say I don't love pasta, I love pizza for whatever reason. And then you can suggest a change, right? No, wait, it's too bad. It's like pasta, right? And then you can just press upload to Pastebin, and then it'll paste it over to Pastebin. So all I have to do then is go back there and wait for it. It's uploading. It's really slow. And oh, wait, it's already there, right? So I can go back there and I can have the edited paste come back here, which is pretty useful. And I think that'll allow all the debugging we had. Oh, okay, wait, what's happening? Right. All the debugging we had to do would probably become much simpler to use. And I think this is a nice feature to have in the editor. Yeah, that's it really.
Seems nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could also upload your selection to the Pastebin as well. But
Oh, right, of course. I think that shouldn't be too hard to implement. Okay. So anyone has any questions?
what about collaborative
Nobody?
editing?
Sorry?
What about collaborative editing?
I think that would be coming. I think that would be after GCI because I don't think that would be done within 5 days or something. So I definitely I want to take that try up.
We got a week.
Probably after this week, after GCI gets over, like I said before, and let's do this, right? Because we can, and that should be nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably possible if we don't sleep.
No, I think it's possible, Ian, with a good amount of sleep. It's just that we need to just think about how we can optimize this process, right? All you can do pretty much is capture keystrokes, upload them directly, maybe not, and probably maintain some sort of change log or something, right?
Yeah.
That thing to work efficiently is a problem.
Yeah.
It's doable.
To do it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
I
this. Yeah, seems like a fun, really.
Though
Mm-hmm.
Google code in anything's possible if you give up enough sleep.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's true, definitely.
I think we've all gone through that already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why we have to limit Google code into 7 weeks because
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
just have to. After a while, it just catches up to you.
It just becomes routine to some extent. Yeah. Wow. So what's next, Doc?
I was planning to get HGBot up, so
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
Wow,
that'll be fun.
that's
Right?
nice.
That'll definitely be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You guys haven't even seen HGBot before. That was like a
Yeah.
Google coding for us.
Oh yeah.
So
I've heard of it through the past Hangouts though.
yeah.
Wait, wasn't DLWS working on it a little bit?
I think basically what he set up is just making a basic shell for HTBot using ERBot library. But I don't think most of his functionality is in right now. I have to
okay.
actually look at his work and see where we stand right now. But it shouldn't be too complex.